Hi, good morning. I welcome all the students of fourth semester civil engineering A and B sections. This is Dr. M. Ramegowda, Professor and Head, Department of Civil Engineering. Well, in our earlier presentation, we were discussed about the theory part of three-hinged arches. Well, all are aware of that. Three-hinged arches are of two types: parabolic arch and segmental arch. In case of parabolic arch, arch is having varying radial distance, where in case of parabolic arch, the ordinate distance is always measured always with respect to the support points. The generalized equation for calculating the ordinate at any distance x measured with respect to a and b as reference point is given by y is equal to 4r by L squared into x into L minus x, where here x ranges from 0 to L. In case of segmental arch or circular arch, as we have seen that the radius is always constant. Further, in case of segmental arch or circular arch, the ordinate y at any distance x measured with respect to the crown as the reference point is given by y is equal to square root of r squared minus x squared minus r minus r. In case of segmental arch, x is always measured from crown either towards left or right of the arch. In addition to that, in order to calculate any of the parameter in case of three-hinged arches, we have to make use of the generalized formula, namely conditions of equilibrium or equations of equilibrium or laws of statics. Well, it is assumed that you are all aware of that the concept of the theory and the analysis procedure involved in case of three-hinged arches. Today, let us take problem. First problem, a three-hinged parabolic arch has a horizontal span of 20 meter and a central rise of 4 meter. It carries a UDL of 30 kilonewton per meter over a length of 4 meter from crown towards the left. In addition, it carries a point load of 80 kilonewton at 4 meter from the right support. Determine the bending moment in the arch. Also determine the normal thrust and radial shear at a section which lies at 6 meter from the right support. Also draw bending moment diagram. Well, to begin with, write down the figure of the three-hinged arch, hinged at the point A, at the point B, as well as at the point C, as shown in figure. The span of the arch is 20 meter, that is the distance measured from A to B. Here, intensity of UDL is 30 kilonewton per meter, that is acting from C towards left for a length of 4 meter. It is as shown in figure. Rise of the arch is 4 meter. In addition to UDL, this arch is subjected to point load of magnitude 80 kilonewton, that is at a distance of 6 meter from the point B. Now we want to evaluate the reactions and horizontal thrust. For evaluating the reactions and horizontal thrust, we have to make use of equations of equilibrium. Well, use the equations of equilibrium, namely sigma v is equal to 0. Treating the forces acting vertically upward is taken as positive. Now here VA plus VB is equal to 200 kilonewton, call that as equation 1. This 200 is the summation of the intensity of UDL with the distance and then point load. And then taking moment about the point B, that can be mathematically written as sigma mb is equal to 0, treating clockwise moments as positive. Write down the moments of all the forces lying between A and B and equate it to 0 about the point B. Solve for VA. VA value works out to be 88 kilonewton. Once if you are obtaining the value of VA, substituting that in equation 1, compute VB. VB value is equal to 112 kilonewton. Further, taking moment about the point C, that can be written as sigma mc is equal to 0, again treating clockwise moments as positive. Now considering the portion A and C, write down the moments of all the forces between A and C and equate it to 0. Compute the value of HA. HA is equal to 160 kilonewton. That is also is equal to HB, because in case of three-hinged arches, where the arch is subjected to vertical load, as we are knowing that the value of the horizontal thrust is always bound to be same. That is, HA is equal to HB is equal to H. The value of H is equal to 160 kilonewton. Well, after obtaining the vertical reactions, namely VA, VB, and horizontal thrust H, write down the expression for ordinate Y in case of three-hinged parabolic arch. The ordinate Y at any distance x measured with respect to A or B as reference point is given by 4r by L squared into x into L minus x. Now substituting the value of r and span given in the problem, simplify that, the ordinate y equation becomes 1 by 25 into 20x minus x squared. Call that as equation number 2. Now put x is equal to 4 in equation number 2 to get the ordinate ye at the point E. The value of ye works out to be 2.56 meter. Once if you are evaluating the value of ordinate ye at the point E, calculate the value of bending moment at E. To calculate the bending moment at E, now take the moment about the point E, considering the portion which is lying between the point B and E. While writing down the equation for bending moment, our assumption is that moment due to upward is positive, moment due to downward is negative. Further here, moment of horizontal thrust is taken similar to the downward load. Substituting all the values, simplify that, evaluate the magnitude of bending moment at the point E. That bending moment at E, ME is equal to 38.4 kilonewton meter. Further, in the portion AC, assume the suction XX at a distance x from the point A as shown in figure. Call the ordinate at that point as Y. Now write down the expression for the bending moment about this section XX, that is given by bending moment at XX, that is MXX, that is equal to 140 into x minus 8.6 x squared minus 540. Call that as equation number 3. Now to make the bending moment maximum, the necessary condition is that differential coefficient of the moment dmxx with respect to x, namely dmxx by dx, is equal to 0. That means differentiate the equation of bending moment 3 with respect to x and equate it to 0. Solve for x. X value works out to be 8.14 meter. Once if you are obtaining the value of x, after differentiating bending moment equation, substituting the value of x in equation number 3, calculate the magnitude of the bending moment induced at that point, that is given by mxx is equal to 29.76 kilonewton meter. So if you are comparing the values of bending moment obtained between the portion AC and in the portion CB, we are coming to know that maximum bending moment, that is mx max, is equal to 38.4 kilonewton meter. After calculating the bending moment in the given 3-hinged parabolic arch, calculate the value of normal thrust and radial shear at the point D. In order to calculate the normal thrust and radial shear at the point D, consider equilibrium of the portion BD as shown in figure. Now at the point D, draw the radial section which is perpendicular to the arch axis, that is as shown, radial section at D, and draw tangent to the arch at the point D. That tangent making an angle theta with the horizontal. So now, if you want to say that this portion is equilibrium, as we are knowing that at the point B, the vertical component is 112 kilonewton and horizontal thrust at that point is 160 kilonewton. If you want to say BD is in equilibrium, we want to introduce the horizontal force at the point D, that is 160 kilonewton, and vertical force at the point D as 32 kilonewton. Here I have taken vertical force at this point as 32 kilonewton because in between B and D, there is a vertical force. Magnitude of that force is 80 kilonewton. Summation of this 80 and 32 will be equal to 112 kilonewton. That's why I have taken here only the magnitude of the vertical component at D is 32 kilonewton. Now we are knowing that the ordinate equation at D, that is given by yd is equal to 1 by 25 into 20x minus x squared for parabolic arch. Now differentiate this equation with respect to x, that is given by tan theta is equal to dy by dx, that is equal to 1 by 25 into 20 minus 2x. Call this as equation number 4. In order to calculate the distance, the value of the slope at D, we are knowing that the position of D is at a distance of 6 meter from the point B. Substituting the value of x is equal to 6 meter in equation number 4. Solve for theta. Tan theta is equal to 0.32. Theta value works out to be 17.74 degree. Well, here we want to calculate the magnitude of the normal thrust and radial shear at the point D. Well, we are knowing that the normal thrust and radial shear are the components of the forces horizontal and vertical in the directions of radial and in the direction of tangent. Now we want to resolve 160 kilonewton into two components in two mutually perpendicular directions. Similarly, resolve 32 kilonewton into two components in two mutually perpendicular directions. If you are resolving 32 kilonewton, call the components are N1, F1. Those two forces are mutually perpendicular to each other. Similarly, resolve 160 kilonewton in two mutually perpendicular directions, namely N2, F2. N2, F2 should be mutually perpendicular to each other. Well, we are knowing the value of theta at that point. Calculate the sine theta. Sine theta value is 0.304 and compute cos theta. Cos theta value is equal to 0.952. Now, we are knowing that the total normal thrust, that is denoted by using the notation N. N is given by N is equal to N1 plus N2. The value of N1 is given by V sin theta plus the value of N2 is given by H cos theta. Substituting the value of V sin theta and H cos theta here, simplify that the summation of those two components becomes 162.05 kilonewton. That is normal thrust N is equal to 162.05 kilonewton. However, here while calculating the normal thrust, we have to add the magnitudes of N1 and N2 because the direction of N1 and N2 are same. Further, calculate the radial shear at that point. The radial shear is given by F. F is equal to F1 difference F2. Simplify that, the value of that radial shear or shear force at that point works out to be 18.18 kilonewton. Well, here we have to subtract the magnitude of F1 and F2 because F1 and F2 are acting in opposite direction at that point. So the value of the normal thrust and radial shear here obtained. The magnitude of the normal thrust is 162.05 kilonewton. The magnitude of the radial thrust or radial shear is 18.18 kilonewton. After evaluating the normal thrust and radial shear, the last part of the problem is draw bending moment diagram. So let us draw bending moment diagram for the given arch. For drawing the bending moment diagram, draw the reference arch axis. So mark the positive values above the arch axis and negative values below the arch axis. So now A is the support point at A, B is the support point at B. The value of the bending moment obtained in the portion AC is at a distance of 8.14 kilonewton meter. The magnitude of that bending moment is 29.76 kilonewton meter. It is positive bending moment. Its value is marked above the arch axis. Here, the shape of the bending moment diagram between the point A and C. Up to A to 6 meter, it is linear, and from this point to here, it is part of a parabola because nature of the loading, it was given in the problem as uniformly distributed load. And then mark the magnitude of bending moment in between the point BC. That magnitude is 38.4 kilonewton meter. That is at a distance of 4 meter from the point B. So here the value of this bending moment diagram is made up of with straight line. We have to join this point C to The position of the maximum bending moment is linear straight line because point load. Similarly, from this point to the point B, we have to join those 2 points by a straight line. The nature of the variation of the bending moment diagram for point load is always linear. While comparing these two bending moment, from the bending moment diagram, we know that magnitude of maximum bending moment is above the reference line, that is occurring at the point D. That magnitude is 38.4 kilonewton meter. Span of the arch is 20 meter. Rise of the arch is 4 meter. That's all the solution for this problem. Well, let us discuss one more problem in 3-inch parabolic arch. The problem is a 3-inch parabolic arch is loaded as shown in figure. Determine the bending moment at the loaded points. Well, with respect to the figure given here, we observed that in earlier case, it was seen that the entire loading on the arch, it was given as purely vertical loads. But in the present case, it is observed that inclined loads are given. The value of the inclined load at the point E is 200 kilonewton, that is inclined at an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. Similarly, the value of the inclined load at the point D is given as 150 kilonewton, that is inclined at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. Here, the position of E is at a distance of 6 meter from the point A. Similarly, the position of D is at a distance of 8 meter from the point B. Given the span of the arch is 24 meter. Now let us call the vertical reaction at the point A as VA, horizontal component as HA. Similarly, the vertical component at the point B as VB and horizontal component at the point B as HB. Well, in addition to this, given rise of the arch at the point C, that is R is equal to 4 meter, given arch is parabolic arch. Now call the ordinate at the point E as YE and call the ordinate at the point D as YD. Now solve this problem, calculate the bending moment at the points E and D and then draw bending moment diagram. Well, here the major difference is that while comparing this problem to the earlier problem, in this case the loads are not vertical, they are inclined. Whenever the arch is subjected to an inclined load, the horizontal thrust is not same. They are of different value. Well, we have to analyze this problem again by using equations of equilibrium or conditions of equilibrium or laws of statics. Now to begin with, resolve these inclined forces of 200 kilonewton and 150 kilonewton. First, resolve 200 kilonewton. So calculate the vertical and horizontal component of this 200 kilonewton. Call the vertical component as V1, horizontal component as H1. Resolve this force by using the concept of resolution. Resolution is the process of splitting the given inclined force into two parts in two mutually perpendicular directions. By using that concept, calculate V1 H1. Similarly, resolve 150 kilonewton and calculate the value of V2 H2. Well, here V1 works out to be 100 kilonewton, direction is downward. H1 is 173 kilonewton, direction of that force is from left to right. So V2 is equal to 130 kilonewton, direction of that force is downward. Similarly, H2 is equal to 75 kilonewton, direction of that component is acting from right to left. Now again, use equations of equilibrium for vertical components. Sigma V is equal to 0. Treating the forces acting vertically upward is taken as positive. That is, VA plus VB is equal to 230 kilonewton. Call that as equation number 1. Use the equations of equilibrium for horizontal components, that is given by sigma h is equal to 0. Treating the forces acting from left to right is taken as positive. Well, here HA plus H1, they are acting from left to right, positive, minus HP minus H2, they are acting from right to left, negative. That should be equated to 0. So that is HA minus HB. After substituting all the known values, that works out to be minus 98 kilonewton. Call this as equation number 2. Further, the ordinate at any distance x measured with respect to A or B as reference point is given by y is equal to 4r by L squared into x into L minus x. Substituting the value of rise and span of the arch here, that works out to be 1 by 36 into 24x minus x squared. Call this as equation number 3. After written the ordinate equation by measuring the distance with respect to A or B as the reference point, now calculate the ordinate at E, that is at a distance of 6 meter from the point A. That value, namely YE, works out to be 3 meter. Similarly, compute the value of ordinate at D, namely YD, that is at a distance of 8 meter from the point B. The value of the ordinate at D, namely YD, works out to be 3.56 meter. Further, taking moment about the point B, that can be mathematically written as sigma mb is equal to 0, treating clockwise moments as positive. That is given by write down moments of all the forces which are lying between A and B, and writing moment about the point B, assuming that moment due to upward is positive, moment due to downward is negative, and moment of horizontal thrust is taken similar to the downward load. That is given by 24 VA minus 100 into 18 minus 130 into 8 plus 173 into 3 minus 75 into 3.56. That should be equated to 0. From this equation, solve for VA. The value for VA works out to be 107.83 kilonewton. Once if you are knowing VA, substituting that value of VA in equation number 1, compute VB. The value of VB works out to be 122.17 kilonewton. Again, taking moment about the point C. While taking moment about the point C, choice is ours. Either you have to choose left portion of the arch or right portion of the arch. Now here I am considering the portion AC. I have written the moment equation about the point C, that is given by 107.83 into 12 minus 100 into 6 minus HA into 4 minus 173 into 1, that is equal to 0. From this equation, unknown is HA. Solve for HA. The value of HA works out to be 130.24 kilonewton. After obtaining the value of HA, substituting that value of HA in equation number 2, compute HB. The value of HB works out to be 228.24 kilonewton. Well, after evaluating the values of VA, VB and HAHB, compute the bending moment at E as well as bending moment at D. Now calculate bending moment at E, that is ME. That is given by 107.83 into 6 minus 130.24 into 3. Simplify that, value works out to be 256.26 kilonewton meter. And then calculate bending moment at D, that is given by MD is equal to 122.17 into 8 minus 228.24 into 3.56. Simplify that, the value of the bending moment at D works out to be 164.83 kilonewton meter. 83 kilonewton meter. After obtaining the value of bending moment at E and bending moment at D, finally draw bending moment diagram. That's all the solution for this problem. Let us take one more example in 3-hinged parabolic arch. The problem is as follows. A 3-hinged parabolic arch has a horizontal span of 20 meter and has a central rise of 4 meter. It carries 2 point loads of 100 kilonewton each at 2 meter on either side of the crown. Determine maximum positive and negative bending moment in the arch. So now draw a figure of the 3-hinged arch as shown. Span of the arch is 20 meter. Again, as usual, it consists of 3 hinges, hinge at A, hinge at B and hinge at the point C. This arch is subjected to 2 point loads, that is 100 kilonewton each. That load is at a distance of 2 meter from C. C to D distance is 2 meter. Similarly, C to E distance is 2 meter. Rise of the arch is given as 4 meter. So let us assume that the section x1 at a distance x1 from the point A. Similarly, assume the section x2 that is at a distance x2 from the point B. So well here, this Arch is subjected to symmetrical loading. Those two loads are placed at equal distances from the crown, and nature of the loading is given as vertical. Well, here solve this problem by using laws of statics or equations of equilibrium or conditions of equilibrium. So, well, here I am giving only the answer. I would like to give the entire procedure for solving this problem, because this problem is similar to the earlier problems, whatever it was discussed already. Well, here in order to calculate the horizontal thrust and vertical forces developed at the hinges of the arch, use laws of statics or equations of equilibrium, calculate the value of VA, calculate the value of VB at the point A and at the point B. Further, calculate the value of the horizontal thrust. For calculating the value of the horizontal thrust, we have to make use of the condition is that moment about the crown hinge must be equated to 0. After obtaining the value of horizontal thrust HA, HA is also is equal to HB, that is equal to H, because this arch is subjected to purely vertical loads. Once if you are calculating the vertical components and horizontal thrust for this problem, calculate the bending moment at the point D, that is at the loaded point, and calculate the ordinate at the point D, that value you are getting because distance is known, that is 8 meter from the point A. Similarly, calculate the ordinate at the point E, namely YE. The position of that point E is known from the point B, that is 8 meter. After calculating bending moment at D and bending moment at E, those two bending moments are positive moments, because those two moments are the moments obtained at load points. Generally, in case of 3-hinged arches, at the loaded point, bending moment is always positive, that is sagging. Well, in this case, we used to get the negative bending moment also in the unloaded region, that is in between AD and in between the point EB. For calculating the bending moment at the unloaded point, we have to assume the section x1 at a distance x1 from the point A. Similarly, assume the section x2 at a distance x2 from the point B. Now, write down the expression for the bending moment about this section x1. Call that as equation number 1. Similarly, write down the expression for the bending moment about the section x2. Call that bending moment equation as 2. Differentiate equation of bending moment, namely mx1 with respect to x, solve for x1. After knowing x1, substituting that value in the original equation of bending moment, compute the magnitude of the bending moment. Similarly, differentiate the equation of bending moment written about the section x2. Differentiate that equation of bending moment with respect to x2 and equate it to 0. Solve for x2. Once if you are knowing x2, substituting that value of x2 in the bending moment equation, compute the value of magnitude of bending moment obtained at those points. Once if you are knowing the bending moment at those 2 points, here the values of distances obtained, namely x1 and the value of the distance obtained from the equation of bending moment at the section 2, that is x2, those two values are same. That means those two values will becomes 3.75 meter. Once if you are knowing the values of bending moment, either distances, substituting the distances in the original equations of bending moment, compute the value of bending moment at those two sections. The magnitude of the bending moment obtained at those two sections is 112.5 kilonewton meter. The nature of the bending moment is negative. So that means it is clear in case of 3-hinged arches, the nature of the bending moment under loaded point is only positive. The nature of the bending moment in unloaded region is negative. So in this case, we have got sagging bending moment of same magnitude at the loaded points, and the maximum negative bending moment at 3.75 meter from the support. That magnitude is 112.5 kilonewton meter. So finally, draw bending moment diagram. So, well, In addition to this, we will discuss about one more problem, that is segmental arch or circular arch. Well, friends, so far we have seen that the theory procedure and the computation part of all the three injured problems of parabolic in nature subjected to different category of loads, namely purely vertical load as well as inclined load. Well, in theory, we were discussed about the other type of arch, namely segmental arch or circular arch. In case of segmental arch or circular arch, the theory is that the ordinate y at any distance is always computed with respect to crown. That equation is given by y is equal to square root of r squared minus x squared minus r. Here two r's, small r is rise of the arch and capital R always represents the radius of the circular arch or segmental arch. So well, let us take up one more problem in case of segmental arch. So that problem is a 3-hinged segmental arch has a horizontal span of 20 meter and a central rise of 4 meter. It carries 2 point loads of 100 kilonewton and 150 kilonewton at 6 meter and 13 meter from the left support. Find A, bending moment at the loaded points. B, normal thrust and radial shear at the section which carries 100 kilonewton load. Also draw bending moment diagram. So to begin with, write down the figure of the arch. Figure of the segmental arch is as shown in figure. This arch consists of 3 hinges at the point A, B and C. Span of the arch is given as 20 meter. Rise of the arch is 4 meter. This arch is subjected to two loads, that is 100 kilonewton and 150 kilonewton, that is at a distance of 6 meter and 13 meter from the left support. Find A, bending moment at the loaded points. B, normal thrust and radial shear at the section which carries 100 kilonewton load. Also draw bending moment diagram. So this is the figure of the 3-hinged segmental arch or circular arch. Call the reactions at the point A as usual VAHA. Similarly, reactions at the point B, VBHB. So now solve this problem for calculating the reactions by using laws of statics, namely sigma V is equal to 0. That is VA plus VB is equal to 250 kilonewton. Call that as equation 1. Write down moment about the point B, that can be written as sigma MB is equal to 0, treating clockwise as positive. Compute V and VB. VA works out to be 122.5 kilonewton. Similarly, VB works out to be 127.5 kilonewton. In order to calculate the horizontal thrust, again in this case taking moment about the crown inch, that must be equated to 0. That can be written as sigma MC is equal to 0, treating clockwise moment as positive. Solve for horizontal thrust, that is HA is equal to HB is equal to H. Simplify that value works out to be 206.25 kilonewton. After knowing vertical components and horizontal thrust, in this case, radius of the segmental arch or circular arch is not given. All other parameters required for computing radius of the segmental arch is given. Well, we are knowing that the equation for calculating the radius of segmental arch, that is r into 2r minus r is equal to L squared by 4. Substituting L, small r value here, simplify that, compute the value of capital R, where here capital R is the radius of the segmental arch. That value is 14.5 meter. Further, the ordinate y at any distance, x measured with respect to crown as the reference point is given by y is equal to root of r squared minus x squared minus r. Call that as equation number 2. Here x is measured from the crown. So substituting all the values here, simplify that equation becomes y is equal to square root of 210.25 minus x squared minus 10.5. Call that as equation number 3. Now to get the ordinate at D, namely YD, put x is equal to 4 meter. It is measured from crown. In equation number 3, YD works out to be 3.44 meter. Similarly, To get YE, put x is equal to 3 meter, that is measured from crown. Substituting in equation number 3, again Y is equal to 3.68 meter. So now calculate bending moment at D and then bending moment at E. Bending moment at D works out to be 25.5 kilonewton meter. Bending moment at E works out to be 131.44 kilonewton meter. So once, if you have evaluated the value of bending moment under load points, finally draw bending moment diagram, and before that compute the value of normal thrust and radial shear at the section D. For calculating normal thrust and radial shear at the section D, consider the equilibrium of the portion AD as shown in figure. Again at D, take radial section which is perpendicular to the arch axis, draw tangent to the arch at D. So now these two sections, radial section and tangent drawn at the point D, should be mutually perpendicular to each other. Now the equation for calculating slope in case of segmental arch or circular arch is given by tan theta is equal to x root of r squared minus x squared. Call that as equation number 4. To get the value of theta in this equation, put x is equal to 4 meter. It is taken from the crown and substituting that in equation number 4, compute theta. So here tan theta is equal to 0.29, theta value works out to be 16 degree. Once if you are knowing theta, calculate sine theta and cos theta, because in order to calculate normal thrust and radial shear developed at the point D, we need to go for resolution. Resolve 122.5 kilonewton in two mutually perpendicular directions, one component parallel to the radial section, the other component parallel to the tangential direction. Similarly, resolve horizontal thrust in two mutually perpendicular directions, one parallel to the radial direction, the other parallel to the tangential direction. For 122.5 kilonewton, call the components are N1, F1. Similarly, for this component 206.25 kilonewton, call the normal thrust as N2 and radial shear as F2. Once if you are knowing sine theta and cos theta, compute normal thrust. There is an equation for calculating that N is equal to N1 plus N2, that is equal to V sine theta plus H cos theta. The value of the normal thrust N works out to be 231.90 kilonewton. Compute the radial shear at that point, that is given by F is equal to F1 difference F2, because they are acting in different directions. That value is given by V cos theta difference H sin theta. The value of the radial shear or shear force at that point F works out to be 61 kilonewton. That's all the solution for that. After knowing bending moment, draw bending moment diagram. For drawing bending moment diagram, draw the arch axis. To treat that as the reference point or baseline. Mark positive values above the reference axis and negative values below the reference axis. Here both the bending moments are positive because nature of the load, it was given in the problem as point load. The value of the bending moment at a distance of 6 meter measured from A is 25.5 kilonewton meter. Join the ordinate from A to this point as straight line or linear variation. Similarly, from this point to C as linear variation. Similarly, the value of the bending moment at the point 7 meter measured from the point B is 131.44 kilonewton meter. Again, the variation of this bending moment diagram is linear because the nature of the load, it was given in the problem as point load. Here span of the arch is 20 meter, rise of the arch is 4 meter. That's all the concept of drawing bending moment diagram for the given problem. That's all the solution for this problem. Well, in addition to that, it was given one problem for practice in case of segmental arch or circular arch. I will read out that problem. It was given for solving this problem and answer is also known. There is no difficulty in solving this problem once you have understood the concept of analysis of three-hinged segmental arch or circular arch. It is very simple once if you are knowing the concept. With that context, it was given one problem for practice. Answer is also given. I will read out the problem. A three-hinged semicircular arch has a horizontal span of 20 meter. It carries a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter over left half of the span and a point load of 80 kilonewton at right quarter span point. Determine the bending moment in the arch at 2 meter and 9 meter from the left support. Well, here figure is not given. You have to write the figure of the arch consists of 3 inches, 2 inch at the point A and B and 1 inch at the point C, that is called crown. So here nothing is given about the radius of the arch. Whenever nothing is given, we have to assume that here radius of the arch is equal to span divided by 2. Span is known, that is 12 meter. Therefore, radius becomes 6 meter. And then radius and rise of the arch are same here. That is small r is equal to capital R. That is equal to 6 meter. By knowing this, you can solve this problem without any difficulty by drawing the arch, use laws of statics or equations of equilibrium or conditions of equilibrium. Answer is given for this problem. They are: the vertical component is 110 kilonewton, the vertical component at B is 90 kilonewton, the horizontal thrust in this case works out to be H is equal to 50 kilonewton. Well, after calculating vertical components at A and B and horizontal thrust for the arch, compute the resultant thrust developed at the support points of the arch, that is denoted by RA. RA is equal to 120.83 kilonewton. Once if you are calculating RA, compute theta A. Theta A is equal to 65.55 degree. Similarly, compute the resultant thrust at the point B, namely RB. RB is equal to 102.95 kilonewton. Also calculate inclination of that resultant thrust with the horizontal, that is given by theta B is equal to 60.94 degree. Yes, that's all the solution for this problem. I asked all the students to see the video neatly, understand the concept and solve all the problem. If you are having any queries or any clarification, you are feel free to contact me at any moment. Okay. I advised once again all the students to solve all the problems, whatever it was demonstrated in the my video lecture. Okay. That's all the solution. Have a nice day. Keep on learning. All the best.